Hello, my name is Elisha Rosenzweig, and if you haven't seen any of these videos yet, so my wife and I, Anat, we were trying to think how we can help under the very difficult situation we're in right now, and we thought we would share some advice for parents on how to help their kids deal with this situation, how to help the parents deal with their kids dealing with this very difficult situation. Just for context, we have 4 kids, some of which suffer from depression, anxiety, and others that are on the autistic spectrum. So a lot of experience with meltdowns, dealing with anxiety, difficulty under even simple situations, let alone extreme cases like we are in right now. And today I'm going to give a technique for how to handle meltdowns that are related to this situation. We've used this specifically with our kid who's on the autistic spectrum to great effect when he was stressed on other issues like COVID or the Ukraine war. I do want to say this technique is suitable more for older children, but you can probably adapt it to younger children as well to some degree. So without further ado, let me move to it, and I'm going to flip my camera now. Okay, so here's the situation that happens. A lot of times our kids say something along the lines of, Hamas is firing rockets at us, and we're all going to die. Okay, and I apologize for the handwriting. It's what I can do. And, while this is a fact, right, Hamas is firing rockets at us, we are not all going to die, but they are still worried about that happening, and we need to help them work through that. So you see how this is like, the first step is to draw it out like this, where you sort of help get it to focus, but where hopefully you can see the two situations, the two steps are put one in contrast with the other, one at the top of a page, one at the bottom of a page. There you go, got it set up. Okay, and this is on purpose because what we want to ask them is to say, hey, Hamas is firing rockets at us right now, but we're not dead. So why do you think that Hamas firing rockets is going to lead to all of us dying? And here you can help the kid. A lot of times we found that at the beginning it's difficult for them to trace the route from point A to point B. But you can help them sort of work through what they're thinking or feeling and ask them, and then maybe get to something like this. Okay, this is just one possible option. Okay, and again, I apologize for the handwriting, but Hamas is firing rockets at us, then the rockets will fall in our neighborhood. We won't reach our safe room, our mamad in time, and therefore we're all going to die. Right? And this is actually a reasonable description of something that could happen to somebody. But here's the catch. Once you draw this out, you say, okay, I understand. First of all, this is like the phase of understanding, right? I understand what it is you're feeling. But now you show them that this is not the only way reality can play out. Okay, and so I've copied again the main thrust here, and that's the sad sort of turn of events that would happen when we all die. But then you say, hey, Hamas is firing rockets at us, but maybe the rockets won't fall close by. Maybe the rockets will fall far away, in which case nothing will happen to us. Hopefully nothing will happen to anybody. Or let's say they do fall in our neighborhood, but instead of we won't reach the safe room, we're close to our safe room and it will protect us. And then again, we end up in the happy space. So it's actually nice to see here that there's only one danger path that heads all the way down here to the bad stuff, but a lot of exit hatches that show us, that actually things are better. And the more steps there are on the way, the more junctions there are to leave. And then what you get here is a visual for the kids that shows them that things aren't as bad as they thought, because there's actually alternate ways in which the future can play out that they may not be thinking. And from my experience, at least with my kid, he tended to gravitate to the worst possible scenario because everything was so destabilized. And then when you showed him that there were more options, it helped. I'll end up with just one tweak to this idea, and that is to add gambling in. So what I mean by that is, even after this, the kid could say, but look, there still is a path. There still is a way in which we end up dead, and that's really a horrible ending. So then you need to try and trigger them to thinking about, what is reasonable to happen, right? Because there's also a path that leads to aliens abducting us, but we don't seem to care about that because it's not likely. And the way you do that is with gambling. And what that means is you come and say, well, let's say I gave you 1,000 shekel and you had to gamble. Which of the two will happen? That every time Hamas fires on this country, it's going to land in our neighborhood, or it will be somewhere else. And usually thinking about that shifts the person's thinking from catastrophizing, from thinking about how the worst possible thing could happen, and rather thinks what's reasonable to happen because they have 1,000 shekel to lose. And then you say, well, what do you think is more likely, that we'll reach the mamad in time or not? Right? And depending on your situation, hopefully the answer is that we'll reach the mamad because we have every time before. And so on. So you can improve this technique by having them also commit to what is the more likely option. And that is by using money or virtual money, right? If you want to use actual money, you'll see that it may be even more powerful, right? They have to gamble, and then, they get to keep that money. Maybe it's 1 shekel, 2 shekel, etc. Anyway, I know this was a bit of a longer video, but I hope that the technique is clear, and I hope you use it to the same effect that we have. Anyway, stay safe, and I hope you and your kids have a better time with this. Good night, good day, bye.